What's up, dudes? Chooch back with another one. Today I'm going to be talking about electric unicycle safety gear. And dudes, I've been riding these things right here since 2015. And when I first started riding them, I was the guy out there riding around with my hat on backwards, just like this, with no safety gear at all, ripping around, and I thought that I was good on them. I thought I was efficient enough to ride it without crashing and without harming myself, without safety gear. I literally thought that, like, I got the hang of it quick enough and I'm good to go. And that was in 2015, guys. And you see me riding now, and you would think that, like, as you get to be a better rider, in some people's minds, they think, like, as you get to be a better rider, you can start slacking off on the amount of safety gear you have. But that's really not the case. If you really think about it, guys, that's why you see pro athletes and pros in motocross and stuff like that, wearing the neck braces, wearing all the safety gear and stuff like that. Because it really doesn't matter how good you are of a rider. At the end of the day, it can always be little things that happen, guys. Little things that you don't expect, little mishaps and stuff like that, no matter how good you are. I mean, that's why you see professional race car drivers still wearing, Formula One drivers still wearing their helmets in them. They aren't wearing no helmets. You don't see Lewis helmet. I mean, he couldn't do it, but you don't see Lewis Hamilton out there wearing no helmet just because he's a great F1 driver. Like, that just wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But whenever I first started, I did. I was riding around the city, hat on backwards, no wrist guards, no gloves, no knee guards, no helmet, just cruising, dudes. And it took one slip up. I was riding the 9-bot 1E Plus way back when, ancient wheel, probably don't even know about it. Riding that wheel around, the pedals aren't grippy like they are on the new ones. Like, just some pedals aren't grippy, and you couldn't really buy aftermarket pedals back then. So the pedals got wet, and then I slipped off the back, and I busted ass, guys. I'm talking like I went down hard, but the wheel only goes 18 miles an hour. So you got to think about that. Like, I went down hard, but I wasn't on a wheel that, like, goes nearly as fast as any of the wheels we have nowadays. Like, we have wheels that can go 45, 50, 55 plus nowadays, and you gotta wear gear, dude. So basically what I'm getting at is, whenever you first start riding these things around in your driveway or whatever, you're gonna get it, and you're just gonna be like, you really don't need gear for this, because you're gonna start riding it at slow speeds. And what'll happen is, like, if you just start, like, basically learning how to ride it in your neighborhood or in your garage or whatever, you really don't need gear just to learn how to go, like, from here to here. You know what I mean? Like, you're just learning how to go from here to here, or just learning how to ride the wheel the first time. You're not going to have all the gear on and whatnot, just because it's going to take you a little while to do it. But what you need to do is, as soon as you start riding outside, and as soon as you start riding, I suggest wearing gear from the start. But I understand not a lot of people will do that. Like, if you're just learning in a small area, just learning how to basically get on the thing and whatnot. But as soon as you start riding it over 10 miles an hour, guys, around town, I'm telling you, wear a helmet, wear knee guards, and wear wrist guards and gloves. That's the bare minimum. And, like, a protective jacket or some type of armor is, like, it's great if you're going high speeds. But for basic guys, if you're just keeping it, like, under 30, you still need a helmet. I suggest a full face helmet. Like, you can do, like, a downhill mountain bike helmet, that'll work great. Or you can do something like this. Check this out. Or you can go with something like this. So this is just a motocross helmet right here. And I got the brake free light on the back here. This thing is really cool. I got a discount code for you guys if you want $10 off on these. It's just a brake light, so whenever, it just knows when you stop. So right now it's just kind of engaged because I've been moving it. But basically, when you're riding the EUC and you hit the brakes like this, come to a stop or whatever, this will engage just like a brake light. And it literally works, like, with inertia and everything. So it'll work on pretty much a motorcycle. It's made for a motorcycle, but it'll work with EUC great. I love this thing. It puts that brake light up high at nighttime, and just the brake light on the back of the EUC is not going to do anything, guys. It's so far down low that cars don't even know what it is. So you got to, having an extra brake light up high makes a big difference. I'm telling you, it really does. So with helmets, dudes, you want something that's going to protect your face, guys, on the EUCs, because if you do crash on these, if you got good wrist guards, yeah, you can put your wrist down and usually protect yourself from crashing and hitting your face. But the thing that you really want to have, I think, is a full face helmet, dudes. Whether it be a downhill mountain bike helmet or a motocross helmet like this, or even like an actual like motorcycle helmet like I have up there on the wall. You see up there with the visor and all, those are great too. The TSG helmets, I don't have anything against them. The TSG helmets don't fit good enough on the inside. So if you look at the inside of the padding on this, see how this has really good padding everywhere in here? This is like a cocoon for your head. It feels so good, man. But the TSG helmets don't have this type of padding in them. And it's kind of like an open cavity in there. You can like literally feel the shell of the helmet. It's just like a thin little layer of fabric and then the shell of the helmet in the TSGs. And I don't like that at all. So this is an LS2 motorcycle helmet. I'll put the link to this down below, the Amazon link. You can get them in just normal white, just normal black, and then there's a whole array of colors for them. But it's overall a very lightweight helmet, and it's flexible now. So like the visor and stuff will flex instead of cracking, which is great. I actually wear this snowboarding. I came around a corner. I ride in the trees when I snowboard. I literally never ride the main runs. I always just hop in the woods, go full send. I hit a tree the other day with my head. I came around the corner and dove straight into it and slammed the tree right there, snowboarding in this same helmet. And it saved me. I literally, dude, I came out and I was like, man, if I wasn't wearing the full face, I'd be in the woods right now, knocked out. And that's just the way I ride. I ride my snowboard like an enduro bike, basically. But that's just the way I've always done that. But this helmet works great. I'm telling you, it'll protect you, and this is what you want in the event of a crash. You want something DOT rated. So this is, if you look on the back, see that? That's DOT rated right there. Ultimately, that's what you want, dudes. That'll take a big impact. This will save you from a concussion right here. A downhill mountain bike helmet is not going to save you from a concussion. If you hit your head hard enough with a downhill mountain bike helmet on, or a half shell helmet on, or the one you see one of the riders in New York wearing has the bar right here, that's a downhill skiing helmet, guys. That's not going to protect you in the event of a crash on these unicycles. And I'm telling you, I did it one day. I crashed back about 10 years ago on a moped, and I was wearing no helmet, and I literally jackknifed the handlebars of the moped. So I was coming up to the driveway, and the driveway lip stuck up higher than the grass, and I cut across the grass and jackknifed the moped handlebars and went straight down. I knocked both these front teeth are fake right here because I knocked both of them out not wearing a full face helmet. And this has cost tons of money in dental work, and you don't want to have that happen, guys. You can just wear a helmet. It's warm in the wintertime, and I swear by it. Don't mind looking like an idiot wearing a full face helmet, riding an electric unicycle. It's totally worth it, guys, because the day you crash, you're going to want to have the protection around your mouthpiece. I'm telling you, dudes, you don't want to mess up. The dental work is so expensive nowadays. Wear a full face helmet. Just do it. That's my lecture on the full face helmet. Do not wear a half shell helmet, because dudes, if you're riding this and your hands can't catch you fast enough, you're going to go straight down on your jaw. So you need a full face. You've got to have a full face, and if it's DOT approved, you can crash with that full face on pretty much as fast as one of these things will go, as fast as any of those over there will go, straight onto your jaw. If you got it buckled right, and you're not going to you literally will be able to get back up and keep riding. And that's the difference, guys. If you're wearing a half shell helmet, this thing, you have one little mishap, you don't get your wrist guard down in time to catch yourself, you're going to destroy this, dude. Break your jaw, knock your teeth out. It's going to be nasty, especially if you fall on concrete or gravel. Don't do it. Just don't. Another thing, dudes. This is, all right, okay. So, this is another thing you got to get, guys, is wrist guards. You got to get wrist guards. If you're doing any type of board sport like snowboarding or electric unicycles, guys, this right here is gonna save you from what I did. Again, I can tell you from experience why you need to wear these. So every little mishap, guys, every little quick little thing where you can bob, weave, whatever on these, you're gonna catch yourself usually with your hands, whether it be a front crash, whether it be a side crash, you're usually gonna catch yourself, but your wrist is gonna be the first thing that bends, and it's gonna, if you hit it hard enough, guys, I'm telling you, the wrist is so fragile, dudes. So my wrist right here, look at this. See that right there? See how my wrist is like, see that big lump right there? It's not set right. So I broke, that's compared to this wrist right there. See the difference in the two? So that right there, I broke this wrist really bad right there. And that's why there's like a big divot right there. And I did that snowboarding, guys. I did that literally like coming into the lift line. I was going like 2 miles an hour. This back of the snowboard, I was doing like a butter, what they call it on the snowboard, where you lean back and the back of the snowboard popped out. I caught myself in my wrist and it broke right there. And it was so cold, I started getting frostbite in my hand because I literally was out there in the freezing cold and there's no circulation getting to my hand. So stuff can happen like that. But so wear wrist guards. Like if you're out riding on an adventure in the woods or something on this thing and that were to happen, you're in the cold, you never think about stuff like that. So I can tell you, like, you know, you wanna wear your gear, dudes, and it's so cheap nowadays. It's comfortable, and like these work great. These are the Decine wrist guards right here. Look at these. Put it on the other hand right here. So check these out. Now I've worn these out, dudes. I've literally worn these out, and I've worn them for about 2.5 years now. These same exact ones. And look at this. Look how good they fit. This is what I love about it. So I got the extra small ones, and what I did is I just put like a can of I put a can of Fix-A-Flat in it to stretch it out to get it perfectly sized, because I wanted it as small as I could get it so I could fit them under gloves. I don't know why I like that. Like, I like the Flex Meter wrist guards. I'll link the Flex Meter wrist guards down below. Those are great. They have the plastic sliders on the outside, so if you go down, you can slide on the outside of those wrist guards. A lot of people like those. I literally, if I found the right gloves that I liked, that I could fit under the Flex Meters, I probably would go with those, guys. They're a little bit more expensive than these, but they're great. I'll link them below as well. They're called the Flex Meter wrist guards. A lot of people in the EUC community use them and swear by it. But these are the Decines. I like these a lot because of this. I'll show you. Check this out. You can take these gloves right here. These are the Alpine Star SP8s. Check these out. Now I've worn these out, and one disadvantage of wearing your wrist guards under your gloves is if you do crash, you'll probably end up ripping your gloves. But I've kept wearing these for a while, and I love the way they feel. I don't know why I like this setup, and I'm not telling you you gotta do this, but if you try this, you'll probably like it. Just because you got a ton of dexterity in your fingers right here. The wrist guards aren't really interrupting everything, and I've crashed on these hard. You can see right there, the only downfall is you'll rip your glove if you crash on the wrist guard. But I keep wearing these gloves. I have another pair over there, but I keep wearing these old ones because they work still if I wear the wrist guards. You see what I'm saying? Because if I go down, it's still just gonna skid on those wrist guards. Now I could repair this with some duct tape or whatever to fix it, but it still works fine for what I need. They're just a little bit cold sometimes on a cold day. The air will get in there, so I might fix them. But I like that setup. I'm not telling you you should do it, but I'll link the Alpine Star SP8s and the Decine wrist guards below. The trick is, so the gloves I'm wearing are mediums, the wrist guards I'm wearing are smalls. So make sure you get, if you wear a medium-sized glove or whatever, get the medium wrist guards and then get the large gloves to make sure they fit over the wrist guards. Perfect. So, I mean, these feel so comfortable. And I've worn them for so long. You can see these gloves have the hard knuckles on them, and just look at that. This is all from riding EUC, guys. I mean, you gotta have gloves. If you're not wearing gloves riding EUC, you're gonna crash one day and you're gonna tear up your hands, dudes. And this happened to me before. I've gotten gravel all up in my palm before. And that sucks, dudes. When you get road rash on your palm, it is just get gloves. Just honestly, don't even do it, dudes. Don't. If you get like pebbles and concrete and shit all in your palm from a crash, you're gonna wish you would have had something like this over your hand. Whatever it is, whatever it may be. But I'll link the SP8s and the Decons in the description below. This was my first pair of knee guards right here, and the other one's actually broken. So I actually broke the hinge on. I crashed so hard, but I wore these for about 2 years. You can see the use that these got. These are great, guys. These are just shin guards. So check this out. I'm still on the on the little. I've been having so much fun on this wheel. Look how muddy it is. Look how muddy this little thing is. I've been having a blast on it. This guy got shot all muddy me riding in here. But these are great, guys. These are the dual axis knee guards right here. And you just throw them on like this. They got the quick clips on the side. Not a lot of people realize they have the quick clips on the side like that. And you just clip them on, get them adjusted to your size, and then you just quickly clip them on like that. And dudes, this is the difference, man. These have saved me from literally getting total knee surgery probably 10 times. Only if I didn't wear these right here, riding the electric unicycle, I'd be out of commit. I wouldn't be able to ride anymore. These have saved me, and arguably, man, there's probably way better knee guards out there, but for the price of these, you can get them for like 80 bucks, I'm pretty sure, on Amazon. I'll link them below. But you can get them for like anywhere from like 100 to 80 bucks, like 80 to 100 in that range, and they are so worth it, guys. Like absolutely so worth it. They just released a new color, actually, I really like. They got like the lunar rock color, and then they have like the new black 2022 versions of these that just came out. This color, this was the only color in the smalls I had. I like it, it's all right. It's bright for if you're riding on the roads and whatnot, but they do have black, they have white, and then that other new color that came out if this isn't your vibe. But they're great, dude. They're like, I literally won't ride an EUC. Like literally if I take my EUC somewhere, I won't ride it fast without knee guards, wrist guards and gloves, and the helmet, guys. Those are like my minimum. And then the other thing I want after that is a lazy rolling jacket, guys. Helmet, full face helmet, number one. You can pick up a DOT approved motocross helmet nowadays for super, super cheap. I'll link a few options below, including the one I just showed you. Helmet, of course, wrist guards, whatever you pick, good gloves, protect those fingers and whatnot from hitting the concrete. Then this is the other thing I love, guys. I like this jacket for many more reasons. So I have the exoskeleton armor. It's upstairs in my closet, and I also have like 3 more lazy rolling jackets upstairs because I really, really like them a lot, dudes. I even bought one before lazy rolling was ever like gave me a code or anything like that, affiliate code or whatever. I even bought one. I had one before that, and so I loved it then. And I wear it snowboarding as well, and I wear them EUC riding. If you look at all my videos, I'm pretty much wearing these, guys. The only time I ever don't wear these is if it's really, really hot outside. And what I'll do is I'll literally just wear that like exoskeleton armor stuff. I'll link that below as well if you want to check it out. But you can get the exoskeleton armor stuff, with like plastic armor stuff from Amazon for pretty cheap. But it feels weird. You put it on and everything, and it's kind of binding. And you really don't want to go in places with that on, if you know what I mean. You don't want to like be wearing that around town like Terminator looking outfit. Like if you're just going out for a ride just for EUC and you're going fast and it's like a hot summer day, definitely that exoskeleton armor just over like a t-shirt or like under one of these jerseys or something is great. That's what I usually race in, is the exoskeleton armor, and then I put a big jersey over the top of it. But what I traditionally ride in is always these, guys. I always go with the lazy rolling jackets. And these are not just jackets, guys. They're fully padded on the inside. So you see on the inside right here? So this is a whole back pad in this one. It has shoulder pads in it as well. It has elbow pads in the jacket right here. And the whole thing is Kevlar. So you see how this is like yellow on the inside? That's a whole Kevlar layer in here. And it literally is Kevlar, guys. if you go down like in a high-speed crash where you're gonna usually get road rash, this jacket will hold up, dude. I'm not kidding you. Like, if you rip through the top layer, it will not rip into that second layer of Kevlar. And the one thing I love about, like, this is a lazy rolling jacket as well. This one has different, so you can get different levels of padding in it, which is, I love this, guys. A lot of people look at it and they're kind of intimidated when they go to the website. They're like, well, what do I get? Like, you got level 2 paddings, you got the flex pads in there, and then you got just like the level 1 pads. This right here, I got the level 1 pads in it. This jacket right here, I got the level 2 pads in it, and then the chest pads in it as well. And then in this one back here, I got the level 2 pads as well. These are the level 2 pads in this with the level 2 back pad. So you see how thick that back pad is? And it's cold right now, and so it's not very bendy. But if it's warm, this is actually squishy until impact. So all these pads in here, the new level 2s, are basically, they're squishy and they'll work with you and form with you and until you hit something. So if you've ever seen, I'm sure y'all have seen that type of gel where the guy takes the gel and puts it over his hand and smacks it with the hammer, and it's just a little piece of gel right there. And it's like, dude smacks it with a hammer, and what is happening is this gel, this same type of stuff that's in these level 2 pads and these jackets, as well as the flex pads, it hardens on impact. So it's not a lot of bulk, it's not a lot of weight, but it is a lot of protection. And it works, dudes. I swear it works. Because I've crashed in these jackets a lot of times, guys. Like, I know, and they hold up, so they don't show it either. So this one right here, for example, like, I've crashed, you can see the marks where I've crashed, but it doesn't rip. Like, it literally does not rip. And y'all have seen how much I've worn this jacket in all the videos, and you would think it would be ripped by now from how many times I've definitely crashed in it, and it's not ripped. None of them are, like, the only one I have that's ripped is the very first one I got, the first lazy rolling hoodie I got, and I crashed electric skateboard, like absolutely flying with that, one of the LaCroix electric skateboards. And look at this one. This is the second one I got. There's not even a rip on it, dude. I know I've crashed in this jacket probably at least 10 times. Only, look at that. There's only little abrasions on there. And it doesn't rip through, dudes. I'm telling you, they hold up. And the thing I love about these jackets is they don't only protect you from like hard impacts. Like, you can crash, dude, the amount of times I've shoulder impacted and that thing has just protected me from a hard shoulder impact, that's the number one like impact that thing has saved me from, for sure. The shoulder pads in it, I love it. So the other thing I love about a lazy rolling jacket too is this. It's not like just wearing like elbow pads or just like if you were wearing like one of those exoskeleton things or whatever. It's just mesh that's in between the pads. This offers a layer of protection that's thicker than those exoskeleton things, or if you were just wearing, say, like elbow pads or whatever. If you go down on this, it's full protection because of that Kevlar in there to protect you from all that road rash. And you really won't get road rash in one of these, guys. I even wear these on my motorcycle. They're even like approved like for motorcycle riding. It's my go-to for riding, and I'm getting on the little Honda Grom to go rip around. I throw this thing on right here because it has it's literally fully padded, dude. If you crash, you're gonna be good to go. The back pad in this one is that same material that hardens on impact. You see it's squishy and you can bend it, but if you hit it with a hammer and your hand's on it under a hard surface under it, you can just keep hitting it with a hammer and you're gonna be good. And I love these things, man. I do have a discount code below for these things, guys. It's $20 off. It's no joke. Not a lot of people have one of these lazy rolling discount codes. It's literally $20 off anything over $100. So if you want to pick up a jacket, if you want to get your pads for your jacket, whatever it may be, if you use that link below, guys, to go to lazy rolling and then just go through it and buy it at checkout, you'll get a $20 discount if you just use that link. You'll notice it at the checkout. In any order over $100, guys. And so literally, if you want to go on there and get your pads, which I think are like $100, and then order your jacket separately, shit, do it. You know what I mean? You can do it. So don't hesitate on that, dudes. And you can literally get a jacket and get your pads. I got the green jacket upstairs. I should have brought it down here, but I like on the website you can get different ones. So you can get just like the reflective hoodie. You can get the performance hoodie, which this is more breathable. So you see this material? If you're going in the wind, this is a little bit more breathable right here than this. This is more of a wintertime material on the normal reflective hoodies. And then the one upstairs, the green one I have, that one, I have the flex pads in it, dudes, and I love it. So the green one, out of all of them that I have, I literally like the green one with the flex pads in it. So if y'all want to get that one, hook yourself up, get yourself a Christmas present, and you'll love it. You literally will love that jacket. I was like straight up. Yo, if y'all want to see like footage of me riding in it, just like look for the one with it's the dark like forest green jacket. It's sick, dude. All right, so I went upstairs and got it. So this is my favorite lazy rolling jacket right here. This is just the green. This doesn't have reflective on it. So if you're riding at nighttime, so these other ones have reflective at the top, including this black one. This one, even the black one reflects at nighttime very bright. So that's really cool that you can have a black jacket. This is the performance hoodie. If you want the black one that still reflects at night and stays cool, so you can still wear it in the summertime and wintertime if you layer it right. This is the performance hoodie right here. This right here doesn't have reflective, but I love the way it looks, guys. It just looks so casual. You would never know this thing right here is a armored jacket. And on the inside, this has the flex pads. So the pads flex really good, and it's like supple and way more plush than if you have like the level 2 pads or the level 1 pads. The flex pads, they harden on impact, but they just kind of mesh to your elbow or whatever. And they aren't like a cupped shape. They just kind of mesh to your natural form. And as soon as you impact, they immediately, like the pads will harden on impact in there, which is, dude, this is the way to go. If you want to get a lazy rolling jacket and you want to get something that's going to impress you when you get it out of the box and you're going to really like it, get the green jacket with the flex pads and use the discount below and you'll get it for as cheap as you possibly can. You'll love it. So that's that. This was the original lazy rolling hoodie right here. And I like this one too. So I got, how many have I got in here? I got 5 of them now. But yeah, those are the best protection you can get, easy to throw on. And I even wear them in the summertime. What I'll do in the summertime is I'll just unzip it a little bit. I just unzip it in the front down a little bit. And you know, once I start riding, gets the breeze in there, I might zip it up a little bit, you know? So that's how I kind of regulate it. And some days it might be a little bit too hot, but most of the time, it's fine. Most of the time of the year, I love having it on. Now shoes, guys. Now shoes are very important when it comes to riding electric unicycles. And I'm seeing people out there all the time wearing the wrong shoes while they ride. These right here, see these are Alpine Stars right there. And these are Alpine Stars. These are both motorcycle shoes. Now the thing is, guys, I rode a long time in just regular skateboard shoes, okay? So this, I'm telling you all this from experience. Like, I understand there's people out there that are gonna say, oh, well, I like my Vans, and Vans are great, and I like wearing those because I've been riding for 6 months and I know everything. I thought I knew everything too. You can't wear skateboard shoes riding an electric unicycle. If you're riding over 40 miles an hour and you're wearing regular skateboard shoes and you crash, it's gonna rip through the toes of those shoes, dudes. It literally will rip through the toes of them. If you go down straight like this, imagine you're going straight like this on an electric unicycle, something goes wrong. You get speed wobbles, cut out, anything like that. You go down, first thing that's gonna hit are your knees, your wrists, hence knee guards, wrist guards. Your chin hits full face helmet, and then your toes are gonna drag. So you're literally going to be going across the ground like this, guys, and your knees are gonna be dragging, and then your toes are going to be going into the concrete. And I know this from experience, guys. And if you're wearing Vans or something like that, either they're going to fly off your feet if you don't have them tight enough, or either the toes, you're literally going to rip the toes out, and it's going to be your toenail, get this picture, your toenail and the meat of the end of the toenail dragging across concrete through your toe soles. And at 40 miles an hour, that will happen, straight up. So you can see on here where it's actually happened, these are motorcycle shoes. See this? These save me from that. If I was wearing Vans, that is a hard motorcycle. Look at, this is a $100, I don't know, like $150 motorcycle shoe. And if this was a pair of Vans, guys, this would rip through right here. And it would literally be the effect I just explained of toenail and the end of your toenail and blood, and it would just be terrible. It would be awful. So this is why you want to wear motorcycle shoes. These are not steel toe motorcycle shoes. You don't have to go all the way to that. You don't have to wear steel toes, but these are reinforced way more than just normal run-of-the-mill skateboard shoes or anything like that. Granted, skateboard shoes are comfortable to ride in. The reason I stopped wearing these is because of this. These have hard soles on the bottom right here. See how it gets really skinny right here? You want a lot of control for electric unicycles. And it gets skinny right here because this works better with motorcycles and the way the foot pegs are and the way you shift and everything. The slim profile is kind of what you want with a motorcycle because you don't need all that dexterity in the bottom. Now I found these. I was looking around for something perfect and I found these. Now these are a gem right here. They look like normal shoes, guys. These look like normal run-of-the-mill skateboard shoes, don't they? But they are not. These are Alpine Star's motorcycle shoes. These are called the Alpine Star J6s. And these are the best shoes I've ever gotten for electric unicycles. Now they are the most expensive. And funny how that works in here. But they are the most expensive shoes I've probably ever bought. But look at the quality of these things. Like if shoes were made like these, I don't think you'd ever have to really buy another pair of shoes again. Like these are like leather. Look at this quality right here. Thick leather on this. The whole back right here is all thick right here. Look at this. This is where I grip the side of the wheel. You see that right there? And it's a high top. So what you want when you're riding EUC is high tops. So that's going to prevent you from getting blisters right here. So you can see if I was wearing little slip-on Vans, little low-top shoes or anything like that, it would just be digging into the side right there where you see that rub point. And that's why people get blisters, and that's why they are uncomfortable, because they're trying to ride in New Balances and Air Jordans and Vans and shit like that, dudes. You have got to get a good pair of motorcycle shoes if you're riding. If you're into it, dudes, if you're just a casual rider, yeah. If you're just riding up to, go to work, whatever it may be, that's cool. I've even rode in dress shoes before on the EUC. So, but I'm telling you, these are the best. And the reason I like these more so than these other shoes is because look at how much more surface area you have on these J6s than you do on these. I'm not even sure exactly what these are called. The fast something. I'm not sure. Don't get them for EUC. Get these. These are some. I'm not exactly totally sure what these are called. They're not terrible. These are better than Vans or anything like that. But these are the cream of the crop right here. And they have different colors of the J6s now. They used to be only brown. They have different colors of these now. But I mean, dudes, you can feel the pedals in the bottom, which I love. You got a lot of surface area. You can still feel those pedals in the bottom, but you got leather protection right there, and this is reinforced. If you feel this right here, this is not like a regular shoe. This is all reinforced because this is an actual motorcycle shoe. But by far, these are my favorite shoes I've ever bought. And I like them. I literally like, dude, if I got to go somewhere riding the EUC, these look like normal everyday shoes like I would traditionally wear, but they are extremely high quality and they're expensive. I'll link them below. They are expensive, but you will not regret it. You get the right size of these dudes, you're gonna love them. And they're true to size. I usually wear a size 10 or size 10 and a half. These are a size 10. So probably go like a half a size lower than you traditionally go. But I can wear 10s or 10 and a halves usually. So these are size 10s and what I rock with. Alpine Star J6s. What I traditionally rock with pants, guys, y'all see me wear 3 different pairs of pants in most of my videos. Straight up, 3 different pairs of pants. So these right here that I'm wearing right now, y'all see me wear these. These are the Fall Raven Vita Pros. And y'all probably seen a lot of the guys on like the outdoor channels and everything wearing these. These are my favorite everyday pants right here. I love them, dudes. I bit the bullet one day and I went into Fall Raven and I just bought a pair. And ever since I got a pair, I've gotten like 4 more pair now, and I love them. I've broken these in. You can wax them, so if it's becoming like cold outside or whatever, instead of it being like Gore-Tex or something like that, you literally just wax these. I know it sounds weird, but look into it. Fall Raven Vita Pros. It's called FJALL. It's a Swedish brand. They're kind of expensive, but they have a lifetime warranty. So if you rip them, if the seams break, anything like that, if it's something that goes wrong from like if you break the seams or anything like that, they'll fix it for free. If you rip it, they'll sew them back up. Like if you take them into a retailer, usually for free. Like if you got a Fall Raven near you, they'll patch it up for like literally for free in there. And you can see the patch, of course, in the pair of pants, but they'll literally fix it, which is cool. But they aren't very protective. So you see these are kind of thin. I just like the pants. I don't know, I like these pants. I'm usually wearing these out and about, and you know, they do enough protection and they're casual enough to where I'm comfortable throwing the knee pads over the top of them and riding, and I'm good to go. If I'm going out specifically to ride that day, I like these pants. These are the Fox Legions. Now, you'll look at these. This is like they're made for EUC. I want you to look at the way the leg's set up on that. You see how the leg bends back like that? And it's almost like you're in the like knees bent position, like you're supposed to ride at EUC. These pants they're motorcycle pants, like motocross pants. And for hot days, look at this. The whole back right there is mesh. The whole back right there. And you're not going to be falling on the back side of your leg on an EUC ever. So that's parts all mesh and breathable. The front right here is like reinforced, nice. You got pockets. So one thing you want to get, dudes, if you get EUC pants, the reason I like these Fox Legions, a lot of motorcycle pants don't have pockets in them, dudes. And the ones that do have pockets are more expensive than the ones that don't have pockets. So these, though, they have big pockets on the side to throw your phone in there. This is important. You want to have zip pockets, if you can, on your electric unicycle riding pants. Because if you crash, I've done this before, dudes. I crashed one day and lost, thank God I went like my wallet or something, but it was like a $150 flashlight I had. It was like an Olight flashlight. And I had it in my pocket, and when I got back home, I didn't have it in my pocket. So zip pockets are great because if you crash on it, you know, most of the time you're gonna check, be like, all right, I got my phone, my keys, whatever it may be, but something may skip your mind. You might have some other little charger, knick-knack, or whatever it may be. You might crash and not think about it. And you get back home, you're like, shit, you know, I lost that. I've lost many things like that. I literally have, guys, just from crashing EUC and stuff flying out of my pockets. You know, I've been riding a while, so I can tell you, you know, you literally want zip pockets if you can get them. So these are called the Fox Legions. And another thing I love about them too is you don't need to have a belt with them. So you can, that's why I keep these out here. I can just throw them on quick, and I can just do this little ratchet system right there. Boom, dudes. Good to go. And then you got ventilation in the front. Look at this. Ventilation right there. So you're not gonna get, you know, that summertime sweat going on down there. You can open it up. So these are great, dudes. Great for riding in the winter and summer. I like them for both. If I'm rocking them in the wintertime, I'll probably just wear, like, you know, those long johns you wear when you're going skiing. And it just makes it a little bit more comfortable because of the open back. Now, if you want something really affordable and really good when it comes to electric unicycle pants, HWK, I guess Hawk pants from Amazon, but these are awesome. They come with padding in them. So these have more padding in them than those Fox Legions, which are more expensive. These got hip padding right there. So you go down, you want, dude, like this has saved me a good bit when I've worn these, like now thinking about it. So, I mean, These are like 55 bucks, bro, on Amazon. Last time I checked, which they've saved me many times. You've seen I've worn these out though. I crashed and these ripped right there, but they held up for a while. I wore them for like a year and a half of riding hard trails and stuff. And then on the bottom right there, you can kind of cinch up your leg if you need to. It's got that strap there. Zipper kind of vent going on. Big pockets to throw in your cameras, your SD cards, your wallets. Zip pockets, again, this is mandatory, bro, for like EUC stuff. I know it's ripped right there, but just because I use it. That's why I got the new Fox Legion pants, because I ripped these. But the zip pockets, bro, I'm telling you, to zip your phone up and to zip your wallet up, just so when you get back, you got both of them after a little crash or whatever. If you don't think about it, you know, you might crash and get back up because you're embarrassed real quick or something, and just like get back on the wheel, and then you realize, shit, dude, I don't have my wallet when you get back home. So zip pockets, get them, dudes. I do have a Leah neck brace. It's over there in storage. It's in the bin. It's in the bottom. I don't feel like getting it out. But if you're doing jumps and stuff like that, like if you're going out and the only time I would really wear a neck brace, guys, is if I was racing, definitely like off-road racing and stuff, because if you crash, somebody can come in from the back or whatever. If you go down, you got to worry about other people. So the only time I really wear a neck brace is if I was riding in a situation where I could crash and other people could hit me. If I was riding at like Apple Valley or something nowadays, like since I got my Leah neck brace, I would definitely wear that like at Apple Valley racing or off-road racing, or for instance, if I was going to hit a jump for my first time, like a gnarly double or something like that for my first time on the EUC, like a Leah neck brace is not a bad idea, dudes, you know? It's just one of those things, you know, you can't ever be too cautious, bro, I think, on it. And like, if the gear's comfortable to you, see, that's the thing. You wanna be comfortable, but you don't wanna be too comfortable. You know, you wanna dress for the slide and not the ride. You've heard that many times. And that comes down to even if you're jumping and stuff like that on an EUC, trail riding, all that stuff. There's been so many times, guys, where just because I was wearing a lot of gear and because I took the gear thing seriously, where I've been out there by myself trail riding and I've crashed hard. I mean, I've gone down on those knee pads, for example, guys, and on my wrist so hard to where I would be stranded out there, like straight up, and I would burden somebody else. I'd be burdening EMS, I'd be burdening someone else's time, I'd be burdening, myself with medical expenses, for example. And that's just something you can avoid completely just by wearing gear. And it's cool to do nowadays. I think, I really do. I mean, you see, I was talking to my buddy the other day, we noticed when we were out snowboarding, it was this year, I've already gone snowboarding 4 times this year, but we were up on the mountain, and we were talking about it, we're like, dude, you don't see anybody out here anymore without a helmet on. Everybody's wearing a helmet. Granted, it's not a full face helmet like I'm wearing out there. You even do see that, surprisingly. You'll see some people out there in motocross helmets every now and then, riding snowboards, skis, or either the little snow bike trike things they have nowadays. But everybody on the mountain pretty much is wearing a helmet. And it's not mandatory. They don't make you do it, but pretty much everybody's doing it now. Just because people have realized, like, you know, having a traumatic head injury kind of sucks, you know? And you my whole thing is this, like, imagine the amount of time and the amount of money, like for a lot of you that have like degrees and stuff like that, and like, you know, expensive degrees, you might even still be paying off that degree. Think about that money, dudes, that went into your head. Like, that's a big investment. You know, your head knowledge and being able to be smart and use your brain and all that. And all it takes is one slip up on these things, guys. One little mishap or whatever. If you're not wearing a helmet on them, or not wearing the right helmet, dudes, it could literally be you unlearning everything you've ever learned in your life. That's how serious it is. So that's what I think about. Whenever I'm going out for a ride, that's why I wear a helmet. Is because the day that sparked it for me to start wearing the full face, I'm not kidding about this. And I did a criminal justice class in college, and the professor, dude, it was the most random, bizarre thing in the world. It caught me off guard. But the professor pulled 5 of us to the side, 5 of us that had the highest grades in the class, and he was like, look, He goes, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to really boost your GPA. He goes, I'll give you the highest grade I can, like in this class, that literally you will get the highest grade you can get because your grade's already high. I'll give you the bonus credit from this, but you have a one-time opportunity to go help. This instructor worked with the Little Rock, Arkansas Police Department for like 15 years, and then he worked with the Aurora Police Department in Colorado for like, I think like 7 years or something like that. But I love this professor, dude. He was a hard professor, but he knew, like, I put in work in there, dude. We did like mock trials in there. I was the prosecutor. I loved doing all that stuff in his class, and I took it serious. I went to his class dressed nice. I didn't fool around. I took it straight up serious, dude. And he gave us, like 5 of us in that class, the opportunity. He was like, if you go do this autopsy down there, he goes down at the, it was at the Arapahoe County Coroner's office. And we went down there and like went into the back, and there was a fellow that had a welding accident. I can't really disclose much more than that, but a dude had like a welding accident, and spark hit, and basically dude blew up. And that was, we had to go down there and check that out. And then there was another one we had to do. And we helped a little bit with it, but it was mainly kind of watching how they did it and what was going on. And it was, dude, it was, for if you have a weak stomach and you're like that, like it would be off-putting. There's like 2 people had to leave, like straight up leave from it, because it was like, holy shit, this is, this is real. Once you get in there and just, the smells and everything get to you, it's like, how do y'all do this job every day? But I knew it'd be the only time in life I'd probably ever see that or get a chance to go do anything like that, and it was extra credit, so I did it. But what I'm getting at, dudes, is you have to literally take a Dremel tool, dude. There's like a nice Dremel tool the coroner uses that's about this big, and it's solid stainless steel. It's a big Dremel tool, and they use it, and they do this on most autopsies. They cut a section of the back of the skull out like this, a little window like this into it. And they can collect all sort of data from that. They can look at, for instance, one of the patients in there, she overdosed. There was a patient, the second one we had to look at, she had a concoction of alcohol and cocaine, and it overdosed and killed her. So we were literally going in, we had to look at the brain and figure out like what exactly happened and literally report everything from that. And what I'm getting at is how thin the human skull is, guys. I know that's a long story to get to this, but you got to understand why I'm saying this to you. You have to see it in person to understand how fragile like the human body is, dudes. The human skull is like, it's like this, dude. It's like, it's not much at all. And we literally saw in there, like, the dude explained exactly like what a concussion was when we got down to it. And you all know that. It's basically the brain moving. The brain is moving in that little window. So the brain is like within your skull like this, and there's a space in there of liquid and stuff in there. And all a concussion is, guys, is the brain simply shifting. It doesn't have to hit all the way into the sidewall necessarily. That's a bad concussion. So if your brain hits all the way into your skull, through all that fluid and stuff in there, if it hits all the way into your skull, that's a severe concussion. If it just simply shifts in there, all it has to do, he explained to us, if it simply just shifts in there, that's a concussion. And when I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, I was like, are you like, that's how fragile our human brain is, dude. And then you see like the brain, how it sits on the spinal cord in there as well. And that's a whole nother thing, how the head sits on the spinal cord, that little contact point is, dude, such a fragile, the vertebrae right here, where this whole thing connects is like, it's a miracle, bro. Like these muscles in here literally are just like keeping us straight up alive right here. Like, but what I'm saying, dudes, is once you see that, it changes your whole perspective in it. You literally have to see it in front of your face, like opened up, to get it through your head. That's what it took to get it through my head. How fragile the human body is and how fragile the human skull is seeing it there in person, hands-on, smells everything in the room, and it changed my whole mind right there. I literally, as soon as I went home, I I never rode another unicycle or really anything else at high speeds or in any situation where I could really get hurt without a full face helmet on. So take that with what you want, but that's my opinion is they're invaluable. Definitely just wear a helmet on these things. You got to.